So negative 0.5x squared, and then a negative times a negative is a positive, and 0.5 times 4, half of 4 is 2. So that's going to be a positive 2x, and then a negative 0.5 times 4 is a negative, and a 0.5 is half, so half of 4 again is 2, and then I still have my plus 7. All right, you don't actually need these parentheses. I just put them in a second ago just to show you that it's the same thing as what we had up here, but we multiplied it by 0.5. The last thing I need to do, according to order of operations, is adding and subtracting. Well, I have some like terms that I need to add and subtract here, so I need to put those together. So I'm going to have negative 0.5x squared plus 2x, and now is when I need to add my like terms. Negative 2 plus 7 is 5. So here is my new equation in standard form. That's what you need to be able to do. Let me zoom back out a little bit. Let's do another example, this time from factored form to standard form. And I want to do this with you. Again, we are going to use the box. So we are going to multiply. This time we are going to multiply 2x minus 5 and x plus 4. So let me zoom in a little bit so I can write inside my little boxes. All right, x times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. 2x times 4 is 8x, and 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. So what I have over here, I have y equals, I still have my 3. I have not dealt with my 3 yet. All I've done so far is the 2x minus 5 and the x plus 4. So now I'm going to go inside my box, and I'm going to write down what I have. I have 2x squared, and of course I can combine my like terms with these middle ones. So I'm going to start with my 2x squared. 8x minus 5x is plus 3x, and then I have a minus 20 on the end. Now I'm going to do my next thing, which is to multiply. If you keep in mind the order of operations, so I just did parentheses first when I did this, and I did it in the box. That was my parentheses. The next thing is exponents. We don't have any exponents. The next thing is multiply. So now I'm going to multiply this out. A lot of people ask sometimes, do I multiply it both times or just one time? You're just going to, if you do order of operations with parentheses first, then you do the multiplying. So now I'm going to multiply this out. So I get y equals 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 20 is 60, and I have a minus sign. So there I have finished my factored form to standard form. One other one that we have done before is standard form to factored form. The thing is, we need to factor it. So let me zoom in again. Okay, to do this, do you remember that we take the 5x squared times negative 6, that gives us a negative 30x squared, and we put that negative 30x squared up here. In the bottom, we're going to put minus 7x. And then some of you like to use your table button, and if you do, then what you do is you type in negative 30 divide by x. And then you look at the columns and you see which ones add up to negative 7. And on this one, what it's going to be is it's going to be negative 10x and 3x. That will multiply to be negative 30, but it will add up to be negative 7. So now I need to start putting stuff in the box. Well, I need to go back to my original equation now. My 5x squared goes in there, my negative 6 goes in there. So 5x squared negative 6, And then I go back to my x and I put these guys in there. So that's going to be a negative 10x and a 3x. And then again, do you remember how to do the box method? The next thing you do is you find the GCF, 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 GCF. So let's go step by step. The GCF, I'll just take the top one, okay? The GCF of negative 10x and negative 6 is negative 2. And now that I have that, I might go down this way to say, well, negative 2 times 5x would give me negative 10x. And 5x times x would be 5x squared. And then x times 3, and just to double check, I might say, okay, negative 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So that is my box. What that means is that my factored form of my original equation is parentheses x minus 2 and 5x minus, I'm sorry, that's a plus, 5x plus 3. And I'm going to put a y equals in front of that. Okay, that is what we need to know for this paper. Next, will you find your worksheet for today and turn to the back side? Because it says to rewrite Anissa's equation in standard form and in factored form. So we need to go back and do what we were just doing, but this will give us another practice. So remember, I said that you want to stay in order of operations. And when we do that, we start with our parentheses or our exponents. So we need to work out x minus 3 quantity squared. So to do that, I need to take x minus 3, x minus 3. And when I do that, I get x squared minus 3x plus 9. If I add all that together, I get x squared minus 6x plus 9. All right, let's go back to Anissa's equation. So we have y equals what I just came up with, x squared minus 6x plus 9. And then I still have this minus 4. So now I just need to add my like terms, and I get y equals x squared minus 6x. Okay, 9 minus 4 is 5. So that's going to go there. You can write that right here where it says standard form, x squared minus 6x plus 5. Then I need to take that and I need to factor it. Okay, well, we know how to do that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put my 5x squared on the top because of this 5 and this x squared. I'm going to put my negative 6x on the bottom. And the things that multiply to be 5 but add up to negative 6 are negative 5x and negative 1x. So when I fill in my box, I have x squared and 5 here. And then I put these negative 5x and negative 1x there. All right, I did not leave myself very much room, so I'm about to erase my x. You can rewind if you need it. Okay, so now I have a GCF over here of x and a GCF of 5. I wonder if I should put a negative 5. Let's see what happens. I'm still going to put an x here. That's going to be a negative 5, okay? And that's going to make this a negative 1. And now if I double check and just see, okay, negative 5 times x, that one works with the signs. This one is a positive 5, that works. This is x squared, that works. And this is a negative 1x, that works as well. Okay, so we're good. We got it set up. So our factored form, we are now ready. Excuse me, we're ready to write this down. So y equals x minus 5, x minus 1. So now we have all three forms of the equation. If you graph these, they are the exact same thing as each other. Okay, standard form. Let's go down here to the bottom. Standard form reveals the y-intercept. because the y-intercept is when you plug in a 0 and plug in a 0, and you would just get 5. So the y-intercept is 0, 5. Factored form reveals the x-intercepts. And the x-intercepts come from these. We set them equal to 0, which we can do on paper, or maybe some of us can do it in our head. And so you add 5 to both sides, or you add 1 to both sides, and you get your x-intercepts. So our x-intercepts are 5, 0, and 1, 0. Okay, so that's our notes for today. You can go back and rewind if you need to. Hopefully that gives you the information you need to fill out the rest of the page. Have a great day.